A dramatic legal showdown involving First Lady Melania Trump, best-selling Trump biographer Michael Wolff, and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein has taken another explosive turn. According to Radar Online, a federal judge has officially dismissed Wolff's anti-SLAPP lawsuit against Melania Trump, handing the First Lady a major courtroom victory after months of legal threats and shocking allegations connected to Epstein's inner circle. The controversy reportedly began after Michael Wolff made explosive claims during multiple podcast appearances and media interviews. According to the Daily Beast, Wolff alleged that Melania Trump first met Donald Trump through Jeffrey Epstein's social network, and even suggested Trump's early relationship with Melania involved Epstein's private jet. Wolff also referenced alleged recordings involving Epstein himself, triggering immediate backlash from Melania's legal team. Melania Trump's attorney, Alejandro Brito, reportedly fired off a legal warning threatening a massive $1 billion lawsuit unless Wolff publicly retracted the controversial remarks. Wolff then responded by filing an anti-SLAPP lawsuit in October 2025, arguing that Melania's legal threats were designed to intimidate journalists and silence criticism through aggressive courtroom tactics targeting protected free speech. At the center of the legal battle was Wolff's argument that New York's anti-SLAPP protections shield journalists and commentators from lawsuits intended to suppress public discussion. According to NBC News, Wolff insisted many of his comments amounted to opinion rather than factual accusations, and stressed that he never directly accused Melania Trump of participating in Jeffrey Epstein's criminal conduct. But late Friday, U.S. District Judge Mary Kay Weiskasel, who was appointed by Donald Trump, completely dismissed Wolff's lawsuit in a blistering 45-page ruling. The judge sharply criticized the case, writing that Wolff was effectively asking the court to rule on a lawsuit that had not even been formally filed yet. The judge declared that federal courts do not operate by issuing hypothetical victories before legal action officially exists. Despite dismissing the lawsuit, Judge Weiskasel reportedly criticized both sides for what she described as an inappropriate level of tactical gamesmanship. According to court documents cited by multiple outlets, the judge said the federal court system would not be conscripted to oversee an abusively presented spat, signaling frustration with how the high-profile legal feud had spiraled into a public spectacle involving celebrity politics and Epstein-related allegations. Meanwhile, Wolff's legal battle had reportedly attracted major public attention online. Reports claimed the controversial Trump author raised nearly $800,000 in small dollar donations from supporters to fund the anti-SLAPP fight against Melania Trump. Wolff reportedly hoped the case would establish legal protections for journalists facing lawsuits or legal threats from wealthy and politically powerful public figures.
The lies linking me with the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today. The individuals lying about me are devoid of ethical standards, humility, and respect. I do not object to their ignorance, but rather I reject their mean-spirited attempts to defame my reputation. I never been friends with Epstein. Donald and I were invited to the same parties as Epstein from time to time, since overlapping in social circles is common in New York City and Palm Beach. To be clear, I never had a relationship with Epstein or his accomplice, Maxwell. My email reply to Maxwell cannot be categorized as anything more than casual correspondence. My polite reply to her email doesn't amount to anything more than a trivial note. I am not Epstein's victim. Epstein did not introduce me to Donald Trump. I met my husband by chance at a New York City party in 1998. This initial encounter with my husband is documented in detail in my book, Melania. The first time I crossed paths with Epstein was in the year 2000 at an event Donald and I attended together. At the time, I had never met Epstein and had no knowledge of his criminal undertakings. Numerous fake images and statements about Epstein and me have been circulating on social media for years now. Be cautious about what you believe. These images and stories are completely false. I'm not a witness or a named witness in connection with any of Epstein's crimes. My name has never appeared in court documents, depositions, victim statements, or FBI interviews surrounding the Epstein matter. I have never had any knowledge of Epstein's abuse of his victims. I was never involved in any capacity. I was not a participant, was never on Epstein's plane, and never visited his private island. I have never been legally accused or convinced of a crime in connection with Epstein's sex trafficking, abuse of minors, and other repulsive behavior. The false smears about me from mean-spirited and politically motivated individuals and entities looking to cause damage to my good name, to gain financially and climb politically, must stop. My attorneys and I have fought these unfounded and baseless lies with success and will continue to maintain my sound reputation without hesitation. To date, several individuals and companies have been legally obligated to publicly apologize and retract their lies about me, such as Daily Beast, James Carville, and HarperCollins, UK. Now is the time for Congress to act. Epstein was not alone. Several prominent male executives resigned from their powerful positions after this matter became widely politicized. Of course, this doesn't amount to guilt, but we still must work openly and transparently to uncover the truth. I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors. Give these victims their opportunity to testify under oath in front of Congress with the power of sworn testimony. Each and every woman should have her day to tell her story in public if she wishes, and then her testimony should be permanently entered into the congressional record. Then, and only then, we will have the truth. Thank you.
Following the ruling, Melania Trump spokesperson Nick Clemens defended the First Lady's aggressive legal stance, saying she would continue fighting what he described as malicious and defamatory falsehoods. The decision also arrives months after Melania publicly addressed Epstein rumors herself, stating that she and Donald Trump occasionally attended the same social events as Epstein due to overlapping elite circles in New York and Palm Beach, while firmly insisting she was never friends with Epstein.